Hey friends, Ellie here, your favorite financial coach, with a very interesting topic today. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. If you're in the East Coast, you probably finished work already. Maybe you're driving home, or maybe you're home already, starting to prepare your dinner. But I wish all of you a nice holiday weekend coming up. And if you're watching the replay, well, I wish you the same, right? Well, today's topic, we're going to be discussing how to start a financial home. It's like a beginner's guide to start a solid and stable financial home. Maybe you're already halfway into it, but nonetheless, I hope that the information we share today is helpful to you. Now, I want you to see your financial home, right, which is your finances, as if you were building a physical home, an actual structure, concrete, wood, however they build homes nowadays, right? So what's the most important part? I want you to think about that. And if you have a pen and paper, take some notes so that you can refer to them later. But the most important part of a home is what is a strong foundation. No matter how strong the rest of it is, but if the foundation is not strong, if it's not solid, it's not gonna stick. Anything will come, um, you know, God forbid a big hurricane or tornado or anything like that, but anything simple could come and tear it apart. Well, the same with your financial home. If you don't have a solid foundation, or start building on a solid foundation, the same thing will happen. Anything that will come pass in your life will just mess up your finances. And I don't know about you, but I've been there, and I'm glad that I'm able to seek some information and knowledge so that I wouldn't be in that position again, right? So, as I said, we're seeing your financial home as a solid physical, as a building a physical home. The first thing, the foundation, it what it does, it protects your belongings, your assets. Um, in a financial home, your most important thing is your income, your ability to perform. God forbid you're not able to work anymore, something happens, disability or anything like that, you lose your job or you quit your job and you're not able to get another one. If you don't have a financial home, you won't able to sustain your family. Even if it's you by yourself, it's only so long you could, survive on noodles and sausage or, canned food, right? So that's why it's so important to have a solid foundation. Now, like I said, this includes protecting your income, number one. Number two, well, I don't like to number them, okay, but the next part, um, let's see, if you were building a home, after the foundation comes the walls. So in your financial home, the walls are managing your debt. Remember, we spoke about that a couple of times, managing your debt, your savings, building that safety net for now and for in the future. Then as you keep going up comes the roof, right? Which means now you're thinking long term, not only for today, but for the future. That's your investments or your retirement plan, even your children's education. Okay, so now is the perfect time to start. Let's say you're 35, right? And you're saying, well, I'm so young, nothing's gonna happen, I have a good job. But you have to prepare for the future. And this is the best time. Listen, you know my story. If in my 30s I would have done things or knew things or searched for the knowledge that I know now, I would be in a better position. I'm not saying that I'm in a bad position, but I would be in a better position that I am today, right? And then, uh, uh, not and then. So that's why I'm sharing this information with you, right? So now let me give you some common mistakes that first time uh, builders do, or first time home, when you're starting to think about getting a home. Some people just want to skip the foundation, right? We're talking about your financial home. Some people want to skip the foundation, which is protecting what you already have, which is you, your income, your ability to perform. Some people want to go straight to investing, straight to, because it sounds sexy. If you tell somebody, oh, I have a portfolio, or I have this so much, investing in this and that and the other, it sounds really nice, right? But how about what you already have, right? So you don't want to skip that step. It's the same like saying, well, we don't need a foundation. We're just going to put the walls on the roof. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So the same with your financial home. So that is the most important thing. Now, another mistake that some people do as they build a financial home is not having a plan for the future, right? Even if you make a lot of money, even if you make, six-figure income, you got to have a plan for the future. Like we said, we cannot foretell the future, but we can prepare for it. Because just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you won't have any challenges. Doesn't mean that you're going to have an emergency. Doesn't mean that at one point maybe your ability to perform will stop, or maybe your business goes down, or maybe your job closes. In the what 4 or 5 years ago when we went through this whole thing, it wasn't only in the US, it was worldwide, where businesses were shut down, schools were shut down, supermarkets were shut down, some businesses had to close, definitely, right? Some people lost their jobs and weren't able to work from home because their job is the, some of us were so blessed to be able to work from home, but a lot of people, their job was not made to work from home. You can't build a home, or you can't build a road from home. Some people that were construction, or, jobs like that are labor, couldn't do it from home. So if they weren't prepared financially, had those funds for emergency or long-term funds, they were in a pickle. Don't you agree? Now, let's go through 5 quick steps, um, that at least will get you going. Not saying that that's everything you have to do, just to get you going as you build your financial home. Right. Number one, as we said, the first thing is to protect your assets, which is your foundation, right? Which, as an individual, or foundation is you, your ability to perform, your income, right? If anything happens to you, will your job continue paying your family? Absolutely not. And even if you have a business, you have to protect that too, the income from that business. So if you're not longer here, you have to make plan for that in writing, so that if the business continues, they can still supply to your family, right? That's the first step. The second step, you want to create a budget. We spoke about budget already. We spoke about tracking your income and your expenses. Not only your income. Oh, everybody knows how much money they make. Trust me, I know every cent that comes into my direct deposit based on my performance. But also, it's just as important is to track your expenses. Um, the next thing is to prioritize, right? Um, Creating that emergency fund. That is super, super important, because, like we say, we cannot tell the future, but we can be prepared for it. And one way to be prepared for the future in case if anything happens is to have life insurance. The next step is to start, where you at, even if it's a small savings account. Even, we have also provision uh, for individuals that are not able to, after they start, get their foundation going and are protecting their assets, maybe they want to have an account that gives them a great rate of return, but they don't have big money. Well, we have provision for people that don't have big money. As a matter of fact, we specialize for middle class families, right? Because middle class families are the ones that work the hardest, got the most bills to pay, and they're like in between. They don't make enough money to live the lavish life, but they make enough to sustain, but they're not below to get assistance. So we're right here in the pickle. So we have a provision for middle class families. If you're interested in starting a retirement plan, or some kind of education program, plan for your children, because you have small children. If you're in your 30s, this is the time to start, right? And I keep saying 30s because, trust me, I don't regret anything. But if it's one thing I wish I knew, is the information that I knew now when I was 30 and when I was 35. So I'm speaking to you. That's why I keep underlining you that you're 35. And if you're older than 35, time is not lost for you either. If you're still working, you still can start putting stuff together. Don't only rely on the government or your family, or in that little bit of pension, or whatever they call it nowadays. Back in the day with pension, now it's a 401k. And sometimes when people retire, it's not what they thought it was. Social Security is not what they thought it was going to be, and they have to go back to work. I don't want that to be you. That's why I'm talking to you right now, right? So if if those that are retiring now are not getting enough money to survive and have to go back to work, even if it's part-time, much less you that you're 35. Imagine in the next 30 years, how is that going to play out, right? And the last thing that, well, the last point I'm going to touch on today, not the last thing, is that to get help, not only the education, but reach out to us as financial coaches, right? And we have investment experts, if that's at the level that you're at, uh, to see what you could do to not only for now, for the future, right? We have a tool that is called a financial needs analysis that would, it's a GPS to show you where you at in your finances and to help you to achieve to where you want to go, whether if it's for retirement, for kids' education, for even if it is to plan for a vacation. You know, it's not all work, work. Trust me, if you follow me, you know how much I love to travel. You know how much I love my road trips. But unless I plan, I'm not able to do those things. Unless I put those things that have priority in place, I won't be able to do those things. Well, anyway, I appreciate you being with me today, and I look forward to speaking to you next time, which will be tomorrow. And I'll maybe be up in a little earlier because I know everybody's gonna be with their family and celebrating. But you know that knowledge is free, education is free, so we're going to continue sharing. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now.